How's it going, everybody? My name is Lucian. Today I'm going to show you how to set up Pi-hole so you can block ads network-wide. So I've gone ahead and updated the README here recently to include some extra steps to help everybody install this with or without the video, especially if you're using Ubuntu. It's very easy to follow. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to jump right in. And we're going to SSH into our server. So in my case, I like to use just a regular command prompt. If you prefer something like PuTTY, feel free to use PuTTY. So let's go ahead and connect to our server. Do our password. Then I'm going to clear this out. And typically what I like to do before we get started is we're going to update everything, make sure everything's up to date. So we'll do sudo apt update and then hit enter. Then our sudo password. All right, now that everything's up to date, we're going to go ahead and clear this out. Then we're going to want to install Docker, which is super easy. We'll do sudo apt install docker.io. Hit enter. And then if it's asking us if we want to continue, we're going to type Y, then hit enter. All right. Now that that's done, I'm going to go ahead and clear this out as well. So we have less stuff, less clutter on our terminal here. All right, so now we want to stop the servers. And the reason why we're doing this on Ubuntu is because Ubuntu by default kind of has their own DNS setup on the servers pre-configured. So we want to disable that because we're going to be using our own for Pi-hole. So I know Ubuntu does this. Other flavors of Linux, I'm not sure if they have something similar to this. I just know Ubuntu, and this is what I'm also using Ubuntu right now. So let's go ahead and finish the rest of these steps. So just following the guide here, I'm going to copy this, paste it into my terminal. Then we're going to disable it. So again, I'm going to copy this, paste it into my terminal. And with the DNS disabled, if we try to ping something, so let's ping google.com, right? Can't ping it, DNS is off. Not to worry though. Once we edit this file, we will have our DNS internet back. So let's go ahead and open that up. Then we're going to use our arrow keys and go all the way down to the bottom here where it says name server. And this is the IP address by default. We're going to want to change this to 8.8.8.8, which is Google's name servers. Then we're going to do Control X, then Y, then enter. And then if we try to ping Google again, as you can see, we are now successfully pinging Google and our server is reaching out. So let's do Control C to close that. Then we're going to clear again. Now we are going to go down to the usage here and we're going to follow these instructions. So we're going to want to get the file here. So I'm going to copy that, paste it in, hit enter. Then if we do a quick ls, you can see the Pi-hole script right here. And then we need to update the permissions. So the only difference between these two, which I'm going to need to update, which will be updated after this video is published, so don't worry about that. But we need to do sudo chmod +x, and then we're going to do pi-hole.sh, which is the name of the script. We'll hit enter. And then again, when we want to run the script, we're also going to use sudo and then pi-hole, and then we're going to hit enter. If you're wondering how this is like auto typing in, if you're not familiar with Linux, if you do the command and start typing what it is, for example, this is Pi-hole. If you hit tab, it'll auto complete it to the best of its ability. It depends on how many files you got names starting with P. You might need to type in something more specific for it to recognize exactly what you're talking about. But so you can kind of auto complete it with tab if you didn't know. And then once you got this line filled out, you just hit enter. and it'll start pulling down the Docker files. And we're just going to wait for this to finish. Alright, and just like that, the Docker container is done pulling. It's installed, it's running, and we even gave us the admin password here. Don't worry about that. That is not correct. But we're going to highlight this here. I'm going to hit Control-C on it to copy that password because we're going to be using it here in just a second. So we're going to need the IP of our server, which in our case, we're going to navigate to 192.168.1.102/admin. Enter. And then it's going to ask us for our password, so we're going to paste in the password that it just provided us, and then we're going to hit login. Not now. Alright, now that we are logged into the server, you can see this is our current ad list, the queries. If you scroll down, you can see the GitHub, which is everything that we just pulled, accessing the internet. So now what you're going to want to do is you want to go to add lists, and right now it's just this one list. You can add more things to the list. If we go back to the Docker Hub here, scroll down a little bit, you can find lists blocked to block more stuff using this link right here, which is Firebog. So if we go to this link, and then here they have a bunch of suspicious lists, advertising lists, tracking and telemetry, miscellaneous, malicious, and then they got others. So for example, let's add some advertising. So let's do this. We're going to copy this, go back to here, put it in here. And then for our comment, we can just do ads. You don't have to put a comment, it's optional. Then hit add. And then you can do this for the rest of the list. You can follow this to be able to add multiple. So for example, if you want to add multiple lists, you can, let's say, copy this one, paste it in there, then hit space. You go back, copy the next one, paste, and so on and so forth. All you just need is a space and then add, and then it adds both of those in there. If you did a comment, it would add the same comment to both of them. I left the comment blank. Once you get done adding all your lists in here, you'll notice this right here increase the more lists you add. So once all the lists are in here, you're going to want to go to Tools, then Update Gravity, and then you're going to want to click on Update and then wait for this to finish. All right, it's finished. So if we go back to dashboard, as you can see, our list has increased for the ad list. So we'll start blocking more and more things. One thing you do want to keep in mind, the more things you start blocking here, you might end up accidentally blocking stuff that you might want to use still. Just kind of really depends, but you can whitelist things. So if you want, you can go in here and add a domain, and you can add it to the whitelist or the blacklist if you want. So, but now what we're going to want to do, this is doing nothing for us at the moment. It's not blocking any ads on the current machine or network wide. All right, so in order to start blocking ads, what we're going to want to do is open up our settings. We're going to go to network, and then from here I want to click on properties, and then if I go to these IP settings here, right now our DHCP is set to automatic. So if we edit this and go to manual, IPv4, and we're going to type in the address here, and you're going to want to type in the address of your server, which will be different from mine. So you're going to want to type, so we'll type that in and then save it. But before we do that, this only blocks it per computer. So this is only going to block it for just this computer, which is fine if you want that. So if you don't want to run an ad blocker or whatever, if you just want to use on this computer, this is totally fine to do. You could do that. However, the beginning of the video, we're going to want to block this stuff network-wise. So no matter who's on your network, they automatically get ad block as well. So, and it works on your phones and everything. So we're going to hit cancel on this. That's just an option for you guys. We're going to want to access our router. In my case, the IP is 192.168.1.1. Yours might be different. Most, you know, it just varies on what kind of router you got here. Then you're going to want, in my case, yours, again, might look different, but all this stuff should be relatively the same. It might just be different locations depending on what you got going on. In my case, I go to Advanced, and then I want to go to DHCP settings, and then from here, I want to scroll down and change my DNS. Now for me, it's set to my Pi-hole that I already have set up that I'm using personally, not for the video. The video's Pi-hole address is 102, but for me, like I said, I'm just showing you for the video, so this is already set up. So you want to put the IP address of your server that you set up Pi-hole on into your primary DNS. Then as a backup DNS, in case Pi-hole gets turned off, or you restart Pi-hole, or whatever the case, whatever may happen to where Pi-hole doesn't work, I have a secondary DNS that my system will use so I can still access the internet, which in this case is 9999, which is Quad 9. I don't use Google. I'm using Quad 9 for their DNS services. Then once you have that all set up, you're just going to hit apply or save, and then that's done. You are completely I mean, it's so simple. That's all you got to do. There from here, all you got to do is, if you want to add more to your list, you can add more to your list. Then once your DNS server propagates, once your DNS updates, you can go to let's go to CNN.com. There, you see here, this ad isn't going to load. I don't have any kind of ad blocker on this machine here. Just got this theme. I don't have any extensions or plugins or whatever they're called. Yeah, it's just basically Pi-hole just sends it into a black hole. And that's it, guys. It's super easy to do. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you on the next one.